Good morning, students. I'd like to welcome you back to second semester, where we are going to begin talking about flipping our classroom. So I want to start this video off really simple with why we're going to flip. If you weren't in class the last day of school of first semester, then you didn't hear all these cool things that we're going to do. So why are we flipping? Well, that's pretty simple. We're flipping because of so many reasons. The first one is because you're going to have a one-to-one video lesson, okay, that you guys can control yourselves. And that's going to help you a lot. You guys need more practice. Every time I see you in class, I want to give you more time to practice, but time's up. So this is going to allow that to happen. I want to make sure you guys have academic successes. I'd like to make sure that you guys have a chance to do peer tutoring in the class, which is something I've seen work really, really well with my peer tutors. I also want you guys to be great problem solvers. And in order to be a great problem solver, you actually have to take time to solve problems and develop strategies to help you so that when you see any problem, you will know how to attack it. The final reason, and probably the most important one, is as you move on to higher level math courses and science courses, you really need to be prepared to answer questions that you'll see in those classes. So these are the reasons that we are flipping our classroom. Now, there's some very important things to remember second semester. Those things are, there's only 15 weeks left until the readings exam. I know it may seem like a long time, but it's not. Okay? IXL skills are going to be due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. So every Friday you need to make sure you get those done. The IXL skills will be posted on Canvas just like before. So please make sure you get those done. You will have a week. Every week you need to make sure they're completed. I need you guys to understand that you need to work harder this semester. Some of you really work hard all the time. I appreciate that. Keep it up. But some of you still have not kicked into gear for high school. You are responsible for your work. And I want all of you to pass your course. And I want all of you to do well. But in order to do that, you have to do the work. You have to put in the effort. It takes a lot of time to record these videos and get things done. So I need to make sure you're doing your part as well. Q points. From now on, Q points are going to be in your notebook. So I won't give you one of those sheets every week to fill out or every 2 weeks. And you're going to submit them bi-weekly via a link on Canvas. So these are electronic Q points now. There will be a form that you'll go to. You'll type in it how many points you got, and then I'll actually add that to your grade. And that'll happen bi-weekly. So look out for that link on Canvas. You need to check Canvas weekly. If you're not checking Canvas, I don't mean daily. I don't mean every second. I just mean weekly. I will update Canvas once a week. That is my goal. I may do it more often, but at minimum it will be at least once a week. In order for us to be successful this year, we need to use every moment that we have in class. So I need you to be on time. And when you're here, I need you to be prepared. Come with your homework done. Come ready to work. Get things done. Last, you guys are really smart. Some of you are amazing, and all of you are going to change the world. So don't waste your potential. Don't waste it. So today in class, we're going to do these things. First, we're going to review flipping, which is what we've done. Then we're actually going to start our first flip lesson together. So I will pretty much act like you should act when you have a flip lesson so that you can do it right. And then we will, in the course of doing this, prepare our interactive notebook, which will be used during the flip lesson. So here we go. Let's get ready and flip. Every day when you leave class, you will have a video homework assignment that we call a WSK, W-S-K, which stands for Watch, Summarize, and question. Watch, summarize, question. Okay? So when you get home, you will actually go to this website, q2lflipmath.wordpress.com. Again, that's q2lflipmath.wordpress.com. And there, what you'll find is the lesson for your class. So tonight, your actual homework is the Geometry Regents 5-1. If you're in Geometry Regents, your homework is Math Concepts 1.1 if you're in Math Concepts. When you start the video, it will look exactly like this to begin. It may have different letters and titles, but it'll pretty much be like this. So this is our intro lesson. It's video number 5.0 because it's our intro. The unit title is Intro to Flip Lessons, and the objectives are stated here. Our objectives are: I can whisk, aka daily flipped homework assignment. I can complete a in-class reteach, extend practice, and/or mastery set, and I can complete my weekly IXL homework, and I can check Canvas weekly. So these are all the objectives of our lesson today. What you're going to want to do is open up a clean page in your interactive notebook, and you're going to want to write down unit title and what the unit title actually is. You're going to want to write down the video number. You're going to want to write down all the objectives. So all the objectives here. So please take a moment and pause the video right now and do that. So this is a snapshot of the 5-1 video, which will be your first video that you watch tonight as your homework. And here I have my unit title with what it was, what the objectives are, the video number, and then something else that I want you to do in your interactive notebook is I want you to divide it in half. See right here where I have this divided in half? And then I want you to, on one side, you're going to put definitions and notes that you hear me say during the video. And then on the right-hand side, I want you to put E for examples. So all the examples will go on the right-hand side of the page. And you should be doing this right now in your notebook. Okay, so here are the definitions and notes that you'll be writing down to start. So when you come to class, you need to have completed your WISC. I've said that before and I want to say it again. A WISC is a watch, summarize, and question. Watch means you actually have to watch the video, so you're actively watching. If you need to rewind it and pause it, please make sure you do that. Use headphones. Remember, you can do this on your smartphone or on a computer, whatever you have. You also want to make sure that you summarize. Summarize means what we're actually doing right now. You have your notebook out, you have it open, and you're actually writing down this definition. You really write down the word summarize. You write down, take notes in your interactive notebook, because that's what you would do if this was a lesson about mathematics. So that's what you're practicing doing right now. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to question, which means you answer the secret hot question on Google Drive. And that's something we'll talk about a little later in the video. Okay, so once you've done all these things, you come to school. Hooray, it's awesome. You're probably wondering, what do you do in class? Well, now it's time for an in-class work session, which everyone will have every day. And that is based on what you have done and how you're feeling. So it says here, how do you feel when you enter the classroom? This is a very important question because this is going to determine which option you take. Option 1, option 2, option 1, which is reteach, option 2, which is extended practice. Those will be your options when you come in the room. You will pick option 1 if you feel like this. If you feel like you watched the video, you've done your WISC, but you just don't understand the examples. Or you WISCed, you thought you understood, but after the do now, because there will be a do now when you come in, you feel lost and you want to go over the main concepts. If you choose this pathway, this option, then what will happen is you will be in a reteach student group, which means you go to a reteach table, you pick up a R sheet, and work with a partner. Reteach tables, there will be 2 in the room. I will tell you what those are later today. Okay? And they will also be labeled. So you will be moving around in class a lot. The next thing you'll do is you'll actually finish your R sheet. And you will follow group work rules, which I'll talk about later. You will check your final solutions with me or Devin. And then, last but not least, you will move to an extended practice table with the remaining time. So what happens is, for step 4 is, you actually move on to option 2 once you finish option 1. Okay? Now, what about people who want to go right to option 2? If you come in the classroom and you feel like you watched the video, you whisked, and you completed your notes, then you're someone who really wants to go right on to option 2, which means you are going to have an extended practice student group session. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to an ET table, okay, or EP table, excuse me, and pick up an E sheet and work with a partner. This is a set of students who feel confident enough to actually move on to practice problems. You will complete your E sheet and work with follow group rules, and you will check your final solutions with me. And then when you're finished in this group, you have an opportunity now to move to the mastery group with your remaining time. Okay? So option 1 and option 2 are clearly available for all students when they come in the room, and you must pick 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Sorry about that. Now option 3 is for students who, again, who have completed the extended practice. Okay? This is a condition of you beginning here. No one can start at option 3, but people can definitely end there. And this is for a group of students who are trying to reach mastery. So when we talk about mastery, we're talking about students who are trying to achieve an 85 or higher as far as the state goes. But for in my thoughts, mastery is you understand the content well enough to teach other people, and that's exactly what you're going to be building up to do here. So at the mastery student group, you will actually go to the mastery table, and there'll probably be only 1 to start the year, but hopefully we'll move towards having 2. You'll pick up an M sheet and work with a partner. The first thing you're going to do when you get to this station is you're going to record, second thing, excuse me, after you pick up your sheet, is you're going to record, upload, and share a video lesson for one EP problem. So that means one of the problems that you've done in the previous step from EP2, right here, okay, you're going to record one of those problems using an iPad, upload the video, share me so that I can see it, and then we can actually share it during the come together part of our lesson that happens at the end of the class period. So that's a pretty cool thing. Then you're going to move on to completing the in-practice set, which is a set of really cool problems that I've designed to really make you think, and you'll be working with partners on this. There are also other activities here. You'll actually be reading a really cool book this year called Flatland, exploring some ideas that happened in the story. You want to check your final solutions, understanding that this mastery group of problems that you're working on, you probably will not finish in one class period. They are set up and designed that way so you actually are going to be challenged. The difference here is this final step, and that is you check your final solutions in your master group. So you're not asking me a question about these problems. You are working with other people who have done these problems. And once you've completed all of them, that's when you actually come to me to review. The last thing, this is actually the last thing, is if you've completed your entire mastery group, mastery problem set, then you are going to help students in the reteach group with your remaining time. So these are students you'll be able to work with and help. So here we are now at the examples. Remember, all the things I just talked about were definitions or concepts that you wrote down in the definition column of your interactive notebook. Now we're going to go to the example side, which was the E side, the right side of your notebook. And here's the first example question. It says, is there a flipped video lesson every day, and what is the web address of the video site? So the first part answer is yes. Okay. And what is the web address of the video site? That would be Q2L flipped math, Q12flipmath.wordpress.com. And that site again is Q12flipmath.wordpress.com. I do realize that a moment ago it looked really, really blurry, so I'm trying to use this new stylus to make it clear. Question number 2 says, after I watch the lesson at home, how do I finish my homework before coming to class? Well, you watch the video and you want to make sure that you whisk. So whisking, again, means to watch, which we know, summarize, and that's taking notes, which you're doing right now. That includes D's, definitions, and examples. And then, last but not least, question. You want to actually answer the secret hot question on a Google Doc. And there will be a link in the video at the end with this secret question to this Google Doc. So you'll see the question, which you'll see in a moment as we work through this. And at the end, it will have a link for the actual Google Doc to put your answer into. Question number 3. What happens during class time now? So now what happens during class time? You come in. There's a do now. There are assigned seats when you come in the room, but again, those will move because you will be moving to your groups, which would be either reteach or EP. So after we do reteach and EP, you will have me and another teacher, if I have another teacher this period, working with you, floating around the room, making sure you're getting problem solved. We will come in. When you come in, we will check homework, so please be aware of that. And I know I haven't mentioned this, but say you come in and you haven't watched the video. Well, you're behind, and unfortunately, that's not really good. So immediately, you're not going to go to reteach or EP. You're going to go to an individual video station to watch. Please don't take this as an opportunity to just, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to come to class and just not be prepared because you are now behind. So that makes it harder for you to do what you need to do to be successful in class. So please come to school with your work done so that you can spend all the time you can and have practicing doing problems and becoming masterful. After you've done all these things, the last 7 to 10 minutes, we will have a come together where we may view a video from the mastery group. We may pull from problems that we've done, just kind of clarifying and talking about what we are seeing, what generalizations are coming together for us, things like that. Next question is, can I choose reteach and then go to mastery every day? Well, you know what? Initially, I'm going to let you choose where you like to go to start. Reteach, yes. If you want to go to reteach every day because you feel like you're not understanding, but you are completing your whisk, that's really important. Like, you have to have the whisk done so that you can actually be successful in this group that you picked. Then I'm going to let you do that. If I feel like you're just going to reteach and you really need to be challenged a bit more with EP, I will send you to the EP group. You can go from reteach right to mastery, which I've said already, but you definitely can go from reteach to EP to mastery. So again, that's what the goal is, to try and eventually get everybody to mastery. So let's see if we can make that happen. So here we've come to almost the very end of our video, which is the secret hot question. And this is the question that you would see that you need to answer in a Google Doc. So right where it says here, remember to record your secret answer here. This will be a link that opens up to a Google Doc, and you will just type in your name. You'll answer the question. It'll say, what's your name? You'll write your name, or type your name, excuse me. And you'll put your answer in. So the question is, what happens on Fridays in math class? I haven't told you what happens on Fridays in math class. On Fridays, lots of things happen. On Fridays, you have a quiz or a test every week. Some type of informal or formal assessment. quiz, or test. So I want to tell you that right now because I see every class on Friday. That's what will happen. You also have iExcel due. So these are the things that happen on Friday. So this is what you'd actually type into the Google Doc. And then when you come in class the next day, I'm going to see all your answers. So I'm going to know who knows what, who's confused, and we're going to be able to move really quickly to get things done, which I'm really super excited about. Okay, so the second to last thing I want to talk about is group roles. And I talked a lot about teamwork and working in groups and what should happen. So you're working in your groups, and before you actually start to work in your groups, it's very important that you pick your roles that you're going to play. So before, when I said you go to reteach or the EP group or even the mastery group, you pick a partner. You can work with as little as 2 to as many as 4 people. And when you do that, you want to write down what your name is and which role you're playing. So if there are 2 people and you're working in a group, then each of you are going to have 2 roles. The roles that you have are either the reading manager, the quality control checker, the timekeeper recorder, or the spy monitor. Okay, so those are the 4 roles. So say I'm working with Tanya and we're working on this math lesson and there's just 2 of us. I'm going to decide to go ahead and be the reading manager, which means that I am going to get all the materials for the group work. So sometimes there may be an investigation if we both go to reteach where we need rulers, we might need iPads or Geoboards. I'm going to get those things. My job is also to read all the parts of the assignment. Whoa, that flipped over, sorry. So I would read everything aloud to my group. I also would keep my group members focused on the task. So that's also something that my role would be. And since there's only 2 of us, I need to pick another role, which means I'm going to pick the timekeeper recorder. So now that means that when there's time I'm responsible for sharing group responses. So when it's time to share, I have to go up to the whiteboard and share if I'm asked to, and I'm okay with that. So now Tanya will have the other 2 roles, which means she would be the quality control checker, which means she's going to confirm that we get the same answer for all parts. And she's going to make sure that we have all of our work shown. Because remember, we're not going to get any credit for no answer only responses. And that's really important. So that's her job. She also is a spy monitor, which I think is one of the coolest roles of all. As I write her name here. And that means she keeps track of the time, ensuring that we're making progress. But she can also, which is really, really cool, she can check in with the spy manager of another group for comparison answers. She's the only member of the group who's allowed to talk to and ask questions outside of our group. So she's the only person that should be up floating around. Everybody else on team should be in their chairs. So again, if you have 2 people, you want to split the roles up this way. If you have 3 or 4, you want to split them up so that they're, equally shared. So this is the group protocol for this process. Something else that you want to think about is if you're working. When you're working in a group, if people don't agree or they don't understand something, then this is what you need to do. You need to try to figure it out together. That's first. You need to try. Make a full effort. Then you want to go to step 2. Your spy manager can seek the help from another spy manager. Okay? You try that. Then the spy manager can ask me, Marla, one question that's a yes or no type of question. If after you've done all these 3 things and they have not been successful, then you're going to write down your group number, your group name, people who are in your group, and the problem number on the hot board. Okay, you're going to move on. And while I'm working with different people, I will see that and I will know that your group needs help with that. So you think you're finished. If you think you're finished, you will confirm your correct answers with me. I will have keys to problems that you're working on, and I will be able to direct you to the location. And then you want to go ahead, like we said earlier, go to the reteach if you go to extended practice if you're in reteach, and go to mastery if you're in extended practice. This has been a very long video, and I hope that you have really good notes. The only part that you won't be able to do today is the question part where you go into the Google Doc and put in your answer to the secret hot question. But that's because I wasn't sure if we were going to have tech on the first day back. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to give you the option to either go to the reteach, or you're going to go to the extended practice section, and there will be an activity for you to do. Please remember that there is a homework posted, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of questions that you guys have throughout this process. Please feel free to ask me at the during class today while you're working in your groups, or even email me. I want to make sure you're successful. Please make sure that you do everything you need to do in this course to do well and feel good about it. I want you to feel good about it. So right now I'm going to stop the video and let you guys move into your groups. But first I will tell you which tables are for reteach and which are for extended practice. Thanks for listening.